afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a little Propagandacast extra with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda and Master of Extra Content. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on crossing notes in the south. We got NRT Fayheim fighting here for the Soviet Union and Socialism. The setting is the Eastern Front somewhere, two smaller forces reconnoitering the battlefield from, well, a larger push, having counted each other. Who shall be able to secure this crossing in advance for either army? South in NRT Fayheim here, fighting for the Soviet Union, leading some scout forces for the 7th Tank Corps. In the north we got Mr.Nobody, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, forming up the 56th Aufklärungsabteilung here with mechanized assault. An interesting choice with double pioneers as well, setting out there aggressively with an awful lot of submachine guns. He's also got Tiger tanks and infantry buttons versus NRT's armoured assault. And we've just gone Fayheim armoured assault, mechanized support, and shock rifle with double infantry guards bulletins there. Knowing that only one of his doctrines actually have guardsmen in the entire first place. We've got double country there, assault guns being hit here. The MP40s clenched tightly in their hands, ready to unleash a volley of lead towards anyone looking remotely non-German. Second assault gun is squad out here from Mr.Nobody's. Again, very interesting start, not one you actually see very much, which is basically kind of why I want to do this little extra episode, because you just don't, see a lot of mechanized assault. So sort of fun to see what how someone does with it, in particular since he's roughly around the top 100. Mr. Fayheim though a bit lower than that. Third conscript, then we got Samus going up here around the central victory point. In the east, engineers moving up, the assault gunners heading down there, going straight for the engineers. But we'll definitely need to retreat. They can maybe stall for a few moments out of the house. The problem is ultimately there's going to be too many submachine guns laying down too much firepower against the engineers. So long term, this is not going to be particularly feasible there for Fayheim. Sandbags up here, knowing the positioning is actually not very good for him. I mean, it's basically the sort of one where basically helps Mr. Nobody up more than he does him. So I'm not entirely sure why I set up the sandbags like that. Could have been a misclick or something our way. Punish on the one side, the soldiers moving from the north side. We got conscripts moving up there for Fayheim. And there he goes around, and he's pretty much closing up all of the exits there. They'll probably have gone for the assault gun and he's sending pioneers here instead. So it's more likely to pop out here, in which case the assault gunners can more easily pursue. And there going, units pushed out to just so much MP40 fire. Up north, you can see the Fayheim there's going for the cuff points, sneaking up behind Nobody. Not a bad move at all, not a bad move at all. In the south, you've got assault gunners versus conscripts up close, they're doing lots of damage with the MP40s. The Schmeissers, as they're colloquially known, despite Schmeich having nothing to do with the MP40. Fun fact. We got more conscripts on the way there for Fayheim, so that's going to be 4 conscript builds. Assault gunners moving up here close. And up close, they will definitely have the advantage against the conscripts, and we cannot respond to firepower of that magnitude. Remember, Leute, using the MP40 is easy. You aim at the enemy, you pull the trigger. You don't even have to aim specifically at them, just in the general area. Just make sure you sort of try to aim at least just a bit, and you'll usually do some damage. MD42 up there, so we got double pioneers, double assault gunners, and an MD42 there for Mr. Nobody. I mean, this is definitely an interesting opening there. Definitely an interesting opening. MD42 almost done, lots of harassment cutting off their Fayheim. They're basically trying to slow down Mr. Nobody from getting too much territory in the early game. And we're going to be seeing the assault engineers versus the engineers, grenadiers versus the engineers. There we go, laying down some heavier fire there with MP40s. And up north here, pioneers pushed back by the conscripts. MD42 moving out. The MP40 was used quite a bit for some of their squad leader weapons or platoon commander weapons. Overall, organising entire squad for the MP4 was actually something that wasn't sort of organised and paid for the German architect. Maybe some of the Jaegers, or sort of, I think, the more, situational basis they've been equipped like that. Because then pursued by the assault gunners, a good sprint here will be useful. A lot of people, I think, tend to neglect using sprint when it comes to the assault gunners. It's pretty cheap, but can allow the assault gunners to quickly close the distance and get up close and personal when they're MP40s. So a bit of back and forth, and you see that Mr. Nobody is using the initial momentum from the assault gunners to take up fast. Got the light to make a nice company up there. Assault gunners reinforcing, getting replacement troops out. And we got the assault gunners here as engineers before treating, half health. Getting a medic bunker up would definitely not be a bad idea at all there for Mr. Nobody. Would not be a bad idea at all. Would help him out with a bunch of things. And there you go, medic bunker up. Assault gunners sending out there with 4 kills to the name. Of course, satchels with grenades also handed out. Pioneers versus engineers. Though any sort of unit with a lot of grenades would have technically been pioneers, but they're sort of going for such operations. So that's a little fun note to keep in mind there. But why up more sandbags here though from Mr. Fayheim trying to dig in. Got the soldiers pushing supported by the country, of course, with sandbags not entirely finished. They're not getting the cover bonus, so they're just easy targets for the MD-42, allowing the soldiers then quickly move in and just clean up the remainders easily for the fatherland. Banker up there in the base, hitting the cutoff points. Again, you can see the Fayheim is doing a lot there to slow down Mr.Nobody's fuel income. The thing is, he's not really doing a lot to sort of take ahead to try and gain an advantage over Mr.Nobody, so that could be a bit of a mistake then. That could allow Mr.Nobody to do some more work there. Assault gunners continue their assault. There's 7 kills, veterans 1 so far. Pioneers moving eastwards there as they gain points. A lot of aggressive maneuver and harassment from both sides. And there you go, conscripts ooh-rahing straight to the flank of the MD-42. Assault gunners, pioneers nearby ready to support those, so that should be helpful. Assault gunners standing about there as well. There we go, pushing back the MD-42, pioneers moving up, assault gunners flanking in. And a Pack 40 on the way there from Mr.Nobody. He's clearly worried that Fayheim's going to go for some sort of like vehicle play, since that's kind of what he's really vulnerable to. I mean, he doesn't even have Panzerfausts. The interesting thing though, that's exactly what Fayheim isn't doing. I mean, he hasn't gone for any structure so far, so light vehicles are quite frankly far off. Flamethrowers up there from Mr.Nobody. And the 56th Aufklärungs Abteilung. Pioneers moving up against the assault engineers. Well, assault engineers, just regular engineers. There's hardly any assaulty about them. Racer wire there, not finished. Trying to get a wipe here on the flamethrower engineers with the pioneers. And quick see a wipe, there we go. Small loss here for Fayheim. That means going. Oh, they also have the tech. Oh, the other engineers building up the supporting company. Very good, very good. Very good. 2-2 on the way there for Nobody to support his troops with a bit of mobility and firepower. Not a bad move at all. Pack 40 ready as well to deal with any Bolshevik tanks. Fun facts, during the early stages of Barbarossa, a common organisation within German armies based to form what was known as a Schnellgruppe, which was basically composed of the reconnaissance battalion and then the anti-tank battalion. They'd be sort of formed into its sort of own separate Kampfgruppe to sort of move ahead of the rest. So that's a little fun one there. Little fun one there. 2-2 out here for Mr.Nobody, ready to roll through the Bolsheviks. Concentrating to the MD-42 to cover the flank of them. Basically preventing them from just rushing the machine gun. You can note there again how he moves it. He basically just blocks the path of the conscript line the MD-42 to set up here. That's a really good move there with Mr.Nobody. Nice and smooth. In this case, they're not fast enough for them to attack again. Well, firing again, but still preventing them from just rushing it, allowing the other pioneer squad to work up their flank against the other conscript squad. And there you go, flank up with the assault gunners on the conscript squad, getting up there against Fayheim in the early game, who has taken up, but he doesn't have the fuel to go anything further than that. So that's definitely unfortunate for him. Pretty good for Mr.Nobody. And the soldiers are trying to get some more wipes. Really nice flank work again here by Mr.Nobody. And oh, small chance, but no, they make it, despite the best intention of their assault grenadiers. Mein Gott, Otto, I told you to at least try and aim at him. You're just firing into the air, you idiot. How did you even become part of this group? Got a half-track on the way there. I mean, considering he doesn't have ammunition for a flamethrower, after he could be just actually intends to pop the assault grenadiers inside the half-track, then rush it up, and then just pop out the assault grenadiers. That can be a surprisingly effective tactic. They're a bit risky, but still, like say you pop it inside the base, you could theoretically just get one hell of a surprise off in your opponent. Constant setting out there, Fayheim still not going for doctrine. I mean, Gassman right now would be quite helpful versus the light vehicles, but also the assault grenadiers if you get some DP light machine guns. You do get the fielding out here for Fayheim versus Mr.Nobody. This is 3 moving up, round the carve point there. Half track hanging back, constant sneaking about. There we go, got the 2-2 moving in. Slightly falling back in the east. Assault gunners moving, well, eastwards. That's it for the point. We get a mine spotted. They're not really the best mining position, but we should probably want more out here in the open where there's more likely units to hit it. Whereas here, I mean, it's not impossible, but it's a lot less likely anything to be hit there, to be honest. Soldiers make against the country, clearing up close here, closing in on veteran T2. Very rapidly, which is definitely bad news for the conscripts, as this only makes them a lot better. We got a grenade assault here on the nearby field gun, which actually gains them veteran T2. Half-track just hanging back. What is Mr. Nobody intending with that Mittelrestriction Panzerwagen? T-70 on the way there for Fayheim. MB-42 running, coming, fire there. Mine still not being dealt with, obviously, just having to deal with engineers. T-70 halfway down there. Another Pack 40 from Mr. Nobody. Again, he's very much preparing himself for any sort of light vehicle shenanigans. Back at base, nothing further going on there in terms of tech. Just packs, assault canoes, and other sort of fun novelties. Pushing straight into the MD-42s. Pioneer still behind heavy cover. Very nice, very nice. And we got the T-70 sitting out straight ahead. Going straight for the MD-42, trying to break Mr. Nobody's position here. And we got Pack 4's ready to wait, opening up, getting good hit there on the T-70 light tank. And did that actually? Oh, just briefly look like. Why are you stopping out in front of the Pack 40, you? I'm nuts. Oh, he's going to lose that T-70 to the Pack 4 unless he gets lucky. And, oh, he did. So that was pretty risky there by Fayheim. You could easily have lost the T-70 there, which would have been pretty critical versus Mr. Nobody. He just sweeps up more territory using the assault gunners and other elements of his force. Assault gunners sitting out, closing in aggressively. Pushing the back with the maximum on the way there for Fayheim. MB-42 the laying air fire. Field gun there pretty exposed, had to fall that back as well, since you know otherwise just going to get overrun. And we got a maximum on the way for Fayheim. That's going to be pretty helpful as all the infantry and other elements that Mr. Nobody's running about in the battlefield. T-70 being repaired. Oh, careful there, careful there. There's a Pack 40 behind it. He's going to lose it, I think. He's not careful. Fayheim, though, still has not gone for doctrine. Engineers are with the support of the T-70 defeating the assault gunners, but even that was pretty close there for Mr. Nobody. Half-track still hanging back. Apparently was waiting for it all along to go get the flamethrower upgrade. Yeah. I feel like you used it with the assault gunners, you could have done some pretty good harm there to Fayheim. Even just use some of the flamethrower pioneers. Definitely suboptimal usage of the 250 on the half-track. Suboptimal use. Constantly being burned up here by the MD-42 and the Flampanzerwagen to the 2 joining in as well here. Back at base, nothing further going on there. 2-2 pursuing the conscripts. Machine gun repositioning in the centre. Got the M42. They're using the sandbags Fayheim laid down. And again, they rather much more of help to Mr. Nobody than Fayheim, the way you sort of set them up there. If you want to use them better, you just set them up here, since that make it harder for Mr. Nobody to contest the point, plus just sort of more awkward for him. Assault gun is there, grabbing the munitions. Overall, Mr. Nobody in a pretty strong position. Field gun bombarding machine gun, high close rounds hurtling through the air. And here we got the T-70s, the 2-2 Pack 40s are nowhere near to be seen. Half track almost good to go. And we got take up there for Mr. Nobody, bringing up the Panzers. There we go, assault guns versus conscripts up close and uncomfortable. And they're standing out in negative cover too. That's just making it easier for the assault guns just to deal with those conscripts. And there you go, full wipe on Mr. Fayheim. And the assault guns are almost virtually free. Good God, he's had to retreat them unless he gets what's again. Well, there you go. Pack 40 saves the assault gun, the remaining one in the nick of time. Leaving the T-70 nothing but a smoking hulk of steel. So what will Mr. Nobody do now? What will Mr. Fayheim do? That's going to be the big question here. Oh, what is this? We got the mechanized assault group. We got a 250 half track out for Mr. Nobody, and those were pretty much largely used in reconnaissance battalions. Fun fact. But actually getting the 250 half track out here. That was another reason that you just want to do this little extra episode. Is it rarely get to see it, obviously for obvious reasons, even then when you see it, it's still exciting, it's still, hey, someone's using it. Going for it, he's going to need to send in something more. I mean, he's just in the 250 half with, I think, too little support here. There you go, pops up still. Landing some damage, got a bang grenade off here on the field gun. This is 3 and kaboom, almost takes out the entire unit. Going in there for the maximum crew, quickly up passing it and getting the field gun here and the wiped out, allowing the flamethrower to make support here. Oh, no, no, didn't quite sit in with the maxim. 6 kills in the flame. Oh, the panzer gun here so far. Not bad, not bad. 7 kills. Could we see 8 maybe? Trying to go for the field gun and apparently not 8. Then again, flanking the counter there might just be able to do it. There we go, counter being burned, shot, and just in all sorts of ways murdered. There we go, 8 kills on the Panzer Grenadiers, almost for 21. Not a half bad attack, though I think could have been coordinated a bit better than Mr. Nobody. Fayheim, though, is just completely collapsing in the face of such mobile and mechanized infantry. Tactics, we got the H-6 on the way here to try and help deal with Mr. Nobody's light vehicles back in his base. We got nothing further going on. There's no support core yet. No one needs to say attempted tier 4. Secured, and we got, there we go, Veteran 3 assault and it is backed up by Veteran 1, and we got the Flampanzerwagen to top it all off with. Pietro there falls dead as the assault gun just unleashes hell. And there you go, coming up and straight to the Veteran 3 assault guns, and the other squad getting up close is definitely bad. And there you go, grenade assault here, straight to it. Oh, so many casualties, good God, almost wiping both conscript squads. That is 8 men gone in the blink of an eye with this. Mr. Fayheim's will to fight is just as equally shattered as his conscripts. So there you go, shorter episode. Again, not a full episode obviously, but still I figured, you know, have some fun to just casting this once and again, you know, highlighting assault guns can be good if you know how to use them. They're also just some mechanized assault tactics in general, which we don't see so very often. So, you know, I think just, you know, be a nice little treat here. Something, again, not worthy of a full episode, but maybe just as an extra to entertain people. Of course, it also highlights, you know, some of the mistakes players can make, like, you know, not position their mines properly, or for example, you know, not position their sandbags properly either. I mean, that definitely some things that hurt Fayheim, but also just too slow tech definitely did not benefit Fayheim as well. So, you know, some things that I think Fayheim, if you watch this episode, could improve upon when anyone just realizes, hey, I make that mistake as well. They could also improve upon. But again, assault grenades can be good if you know how to use them here, as I think Mr. Nobody did definitely display. So I hope you enjoyed this little extra episode. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, and you know, we'll just, you know, praise the episode and me, of course, if you feel like it. And of course, like we do, you can support by pledging on Patreon or donating via PayPal. Links in the video description. This is Imperial Dane signing off. Another time for another video. Cheers, everybody.